Hi, my name is Angie and I'm going to teach you today how to make mayonnaise two ways, the traditional version with eggs and the vegan version as well. So let's get started. So here's what you're going to need to make the mayo. So my method uses a food processor. There are other ways that you can make mayo, like with a whisk in a bowl. Those are more traditional methods, but we know that using a food processor is going to give you a really good result every time, so I highly recommend this. This size, and you can use a little bit smaller one if that's what you have at home. You're going to need some eggs, or at least one egg for a single batch. You're going to need some neutral flavored oil. We really like avocado oil. You can use canola or something like that. I recommend not using olive oil, or if you do want to use olive oil, just use a little bit, maybe half or less. It does give the mayo kind of a bitter flavor. Mustard, we use Dijon, but you can use any kind of mustard. And lemon juice and apple cider vinegar. You can use either or, but we like a combination of the two. Some salt, and then optional garlic cloves for aioli, which just means garlic mayo. So today we're actually going to make a double batch, but it definitely works with the single batch. So we're going to start with the garlic. Again, this is optional, but it's pretty good to have some garlic in your mayo, so I recommend. I'm just going to peel it. I'm going to cut off the little tip of the garlic, a little trim there. And then cut it in half. And you're just going to start loading, loading up the food processor. So the first step is just to put everything but the oil into the food processor and blend it together. So if you're doing a single batch, you just need one egg. I'm doing a double, so we're going to do two. Two tablespoons of lemon juice. Teaspoons rather, vinegar. 2 teaspoons of mustard. I guess it should be 4, shouldn't it, for double. So we got 4 total for our double batch. And a teaspoon of salt. That's about a teaspoon there. Okay. Now brace yourself for the noise of the food processor. You just want to make sure it's really well, take a shot of that, really well blended in there. This next part is pretty cool. We're going to emulsify the liquids with some oil, which will make them into the solid that we know as mayo. So to emulsify, according to thespruceeats.com, is to combine 2 ingredients together which do not ordinarily mix easily. So for example, like vinaigrette, you put vinegar and salt and sugar, and then you put oil in there. If you don't emulsify it, it will stay separate into 2 separate pieces. So in this case, we're going to use emulsifiers that can help make the suspension stable. Emulsifiers are particles where one end is attracted to water and the other end is drawn to oil, which is so crazy to think about. Basically, protein, like the egg yolks, and also mustard that's in here are both emulsifiers. So they're going to help the oil mix with the water and stay together into a solid. So we have our liquid already made, and if you put garlic in it like we did, you're going to want to make sure that it's super minced in there. So I just ran the food processor a little bit more to make sure that the garlic was minced. And then we are going to get our oil into a container that pours easily. Because what you're going to want is the thinnest possible stream of oil to make sure that it emulsifies really well. If you pour it in too fast, it will break and it will not form a beautiful mayo. It will be like a weird liquidy egg and oil thing. There are ways to fix it, but it's better to do it right the first time. So here we go. So using your tiny little spot on your food processor where you can pour it in, I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to keep it running, and then I'm going to pour it in. See how tiny that stream is? It's almost hard if the thing is too full to get the right stream. I'm going to persevere because I know that this is going to work after a while when the pitcher is less full. But that's how thin you want that stream to be. And you just keep going. Let's see what we got. It's a little liquidy, so I'm going to try a little bit more oil. Sometimes that's the case. Oops. Ooh, there we go. You got yourself some mayo, friend. And when you put it in the fridge, it'll actually solidify a little bit more. But there you have it. Homemade mayonnaise. Alright, let's move on to our vegan mayo. This contains no animal ingredients and is super delicious. Okay, for the vegan mayo, we need similar ingredients, just the food processor, some soy milk. I have not tried this with other non-dairy milks. You could. I like soy milk because it is not sweet at all, and it has a good amount of protein, which, as we know, is important for emulsifying. And then we have a little bit of yellow mustard. This is like a Dijon sort of, but that will work. Apple cider vinegar and your neutral oil. We like avocado, and then some salt here. And you can do the same thing as with the other mayo. You can put a couple cloves of garlic in and mince those at the beginning, which should make your aioli, but we're going to skip that this time around. Okay, so let's get started. First, put our half cup of soy milk into the food processor. The half tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. The half teaspoon of mustard. And the scant half teaspoon, which just means a little bit less than a half teaspoon, of salt. So everything but the oil goes into the food processor and you blend it so it is combined. Should probably plug it in. Okay. So, when that is fully combined, you measure out 1 cup of the oil. This is the emulsification part. So you want to have your oil in a pitcher that you can easily pour slowly. So here we go. We are turning on our food processor and slowly pouring in the oil as slow as possible. Don't try and go faster, even if you want to. Second half cup. And as you can see, it's thick. It's mayonnaise. Alright, well, thanks so much for watching. I guess I just wanted to say the vegan mayo, even if you're not vegan, is really useful for like hiking or sometime when you can't refrigerate your sandwich, so that your raw egg mayo might kind of go bad if it was out for too long, but the vegan mayo is pretty safe to eat even after a long hike in the sun. So, and it tastes really good. Thanks so much for watching and hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much.